Because our next speaker has, again I asked, tell me something fun, and he told me he's a family tree. Listen to this. Great-grandparents born in India. Grandparents born in Kenya and Tanzania. Parents born in Congo. Himself, countries. What is the natural thing after Kenya, Tanzania, and Congo? Canada. So, that is the best icebreaker. I guess, if you were on speed dating yesterday, that would be all the time you had. But the next person is the founder of Global Nomad Pass, an app which provides digital nomads with special discounts at local businesses globally. He has experience building successful companies in Silicon Valley, and he's passionate about supporting local businesses. As he told me, local businesses are fundamental to the nomadic experience. So it's more than just a discount. There is more juice in this talk. And I'm really curious to see what I will learn. So my friends, last talk, let's give it all our energy, like it's AC/DC, and that's like the final act. Safir, Jamal! That's it.
Thank you, Stefanos. How about a round of applause again, everyone, for Yazid? What an amazing speaker we had right now. Wonderful. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Safir Jamal, and I've been a nomad for the past 4 years. And today I'm really excited because I am going to tell you a story. But it's not a story about me. It's actually a story about two of my favorite characters, the nomad consumer and the local business. And like any good story, we have character development, we have a plot, we have conflict, and hopefully we have conflict resolution. So let's get started and tell us the story. The Oxford English Dictionary defines the word squatter as someone who intentionally settles somewhere without right, title, or payment. Sounds like a pretty awful and ill-intentioned person. Would you agree? So you can understand why I was surprised and shocked and frankly offended when I found out that this term was actually used to describe me. And in fact, it was a term that was used to describe almost all of us here in this room. Look, we've all worked from cafes all around the world, and it's a pretty wonderful and liberating experience. Whether it's the change of scenery, whether it's the dynamic that gets us into a more productive state, it's great. So, what's this all about? Why the backlash? Let's look at this from the cafe owner's perspective. You can imagine that it is probably quite undesirable for a cafe owner to have people like us bust out our laptops and occupy a table for 4 hours if all we did during that 4-hour period was buy one single cup of coffee. But here's the thing, we don't do this. I think I speak for all of us, and for all the nomads that I've encountered in cafes all around the world, that we know better than that. We don't do that. We understand that that is rude, we understand that that is wrong, and frankly, the guilt and the shame that comes with that is just something that we don't want to deal with. So we know better than that. We know that the longer we stay in a cafe with our laptops, the more food and drink we tend to purchase. It just makes sense, it's the right thing to do, and it's kind of this unwritten rule, and we all abide by it. But sometimes, that's not enough. What we are seeing in cafes all around the world is more signs like this. Despite our willingness to spend money, despite our understanding that the right thing to do is to buy more food and drink to justify our seat as we are there in this productive workspace, many cafes are telling us that our business is simply not welcome. What you don't see on these signs is language. specific language that would specify some conditions. For example, I don't see anywhere on the sign anything that says you must spend a minimum amount of X in order to use your laptop. Or you can use your laptop freely only up to X number of hours. No. What we see is outright language that equates using your computer to smoking. It's confusing, right? Isn't the goal of any business to make money? And if we all know better that the right conduct in this situation is to spend money and buy food and drink, aren't we helping the cafe make money? The primary objective of the establishment? As you can see, the relationship between nomad consumers and local businesses is far from straightforward. If you're a cafe owner, and if you don't like the vibe that comes with having a bunch of people working on their laptops, or you don't like the image because you want people chit-chatting and reading books and this romanticized idea of what a cafe should be, that's fine. But how can you ignore the fact that these consumers are helping you make money? Well, let's unpack that a little bit. Are we helping them make money? As nomads, are we valuable consumers? Let's take a deeper look. Now I want you to maybe take it out of context for a second. Forget the cafe. Let's think about another local business, a restaurant. And in particular, let's imagine a restaurant that tends to have a large number of their consumers be tourists. In many cities all around the world, you have thriving restaurants that cater to both locals and tourists. So let's say we have a tourist who's going to a particular restaurant and who dines there and has an incredible dining experience. The food is amazing, the service is amazing, the ambiance is great, incredible, incredible, incredible. Well, the average meal at this restaurant might cost $25. Now, how many times do we think, if they had a great experience, will this tourist go back to the same restaurant again? Keep in mind that the average tourist tends to stay in a particular city for 3 days. So in a 3-day period, is it realistic to expect that even if they had an incredible experience, that they would go back for multiple visits? Probably not. But for argument's sake, let's assume they go back one more time during that period of 3 days while they're in that city. And so you can see that by that second visit they spend another $25 on their meal. Overall, that restaurant, who caters to tourists, or who certainly benefits from tourists and has a strategy to attract more tourists, is getting $50 of total value from that one consumer that they really are actively pursuing. Now let's imagine how this situation looks for a nomad. We have a nomad who's in the same city, who goes to the same restaurant, and also has an incredible experience. We've established this is a great restaurant, so the nomad will also love it, and will also probably spend close to about $25 on their meal. But unlike a tourist, who spends an average of 3 days in a city, the average nomad spends about a month in a particular city. And so if they had an amazing experience, like anyone, you want to go again. So how often do we think that the nomad would go back to that restaurant? We can assume, on average, probably about once a week. So over the course of a month, you're looking at about 4 visits. Right there, you can see that that's $100 of total value that the nomad has brought in, which is twice the $50 that we saw from the tourist. But here's where things get really interesting. The nomad community is super tight-knit. We are very strong, and word of mouth within the nomad community travels very fast. And so if this nomad goes to the restaurant and loves it and spends $25 there every week, chances are that they're probably telling a few other of their nomad friends about it. And as we've all seen in places all around the world, when a fellow nomad who's living the same lifestyle as us tells us and recommends a particular place to us, we tend to hold a lot of weight in that recommendation. Usually, we action that recommendation. So if our nomad over here tells just 2 other nomad friends about this incredible restaurant, and those 2 friends also go to the restaurant, and also spend $25 per meal, and also have an incredible experience, and also then go once a week, you're looking at $300 of total value that came to this restaurant just from one nomad. You can cut the numbers any which way you like, but the fundamentals here lead you to the same conclusion, which is, in our example, a nomad consumer is at least 6 times as valuable as a tourist. And there's 2 major factors as to why. Number 1, it's the frequency of visits. Nomads are in the city for longer, therefore they're able to make more frequent visits. And number 2, it's what I'm calling the nomad multiplier effect, which is nomads talk to other nomads, and other nomads trust nomad recommendations, and they action those recommendations in a very different way than tourists do. If you're a tourist and you had a great experience, you're probably writing a Google review or a TripAdvisor review, which is great, but it just doesn't have the same level of actionability that a nomad going to your co-working space, going to your co-living space, interacting with your community, and talking to them directly would have, right? Very, very different levels of importance and actionability on that. Now, let's bring it back to the business owner. This is very simple math. Business owners are savvy people. Surely they know this math. Surely they can understand that, yes, a nomad consumer is more valuable. So shouldn't business owners be going out of their way to attract more nomad consumers to their establishments? It would make sense, wouldn't it? So why isn't that happening? The short answer is, they don't know this. And I don't blame them, because what do they know about digital nomads? Most of them don't know much about digital nomads at all, and they certainly don't know how nomads and tourists might behave differently. And I don't blame them, because no one has ever explained it to them like this. But 6 months ago, that started to change. I decided to start traveling around the world and to explain to these business owners myself what the math should really represent. The untold story between nomad consumers and local businesses, and help business owners understand that there is a huge segment of the population out there that they have not started to attract, that they have not started to evaluate, and that they have not started to build meaningful and intentional strategies to pursue. And like any business owner, you're always looking for growth opportunities. This was my opportunity to tell them that there's a growth opportunity that is just sitting right in front of them, but no one's talked to them about it. So 6 months ago, I founded Global Nomad Pass. Global Nomad Pass is the membership that helps digital nomads unlock exclusive discounts at local hidden gems all around the world. We partner with cafés, restaurants, co-working spaces, co-living spaces, boutique hotels, fitness studios and gyms, salons, spas, barbershops, and local attractions all around the world. And we exclusively partner with local businesses. You'll never find a McDonald's or a Starbucks listed on our platform. And what we do is we have field teams of locals that we hire, recruit, and train in 20 cities around the world. And these locals who are part of our field team are actively going out and visiting all of these local establishments to evaluate them on the basis of quality, to make sure that we really do recommend to our nomad community members that this is an establishment worth visiting. We talk to the business owner, we understand their story, we want to know the ingredients and where they're sourced from. We go really deep in our evaluation. But ultimately, we declare them to be a hidden gem. And we also negotiate exclusive discounts that this establishment would offer to our members. How do we do that? And why are business owners interested in partnering with us? Because we show them the math. We show them the same examples that I just shared with you today. It is simple math, but no one's ever showed it to them. And when they see this and they understand how nomads are actually different from tourists, they get really excited. And I know this firsthand because we've been doing this day in and day out for the last 6 months. But to date, we've already brought on more than 500 local businesses from around the world onto the Global Nomad Pass platform. And we are truly adding more every single day. They're excited to bring nomads to their doors, and they're excited to offer a discount as an incentive to come through. But they really understand the value of connecting with this community, and they see Global Nomad Pass as a nice bridge to get there. Now, the membership takes the form of a wallet pass. This is not an app. You go to globalnomadpass.com, you install the wallet pass, and it sits in your Apple Wallet or your Google Wallet on your phone, just like a boarding pass would. And you can use that in all the different cities that we're launching. Now, typically, our membership is free for the first 7 days, because we really want people to go and use it and try it out and see that this actually works. And you can really save money. But it's more than the cost savings. It's about discovery. It's about visiting local businesses that you probably never would have otherwise, because again, these are not the most popular places. These are hidden gems that we can truly put our name behind and think these are great establishments that are worth visiting. And yes, you're saving money in the process, but you're also supporting local businesses. And so that membership typically costs about $79 for the year, but our members tell us that within the first 2 months, it pays for itself. So you're getting ample cost savings to justify that. When we do partner with a local business, they are really excited. They are genuinely in a position where they feel seen, they feel discovered, and we've found them. We're happy to promote them. We're happy to be an amplification and awareness-driving platform for them. No one's ever done that to them before, so they're really, really excited to partner with us. They're happy to give our members a discount. And then we give them this sticker. If you're familiar with the TripAdvisor Certificate of Excellence that a lot of businesses display, it's like an award. Well, this is the Global Nomad Pass Award. We even named it an award. It's the best hidden gems of a particular year. And they proudly display this on their storefronts because they want passerby traffic to see that they were selected in this unique group, and they want to support this mission of bringing nomads through their doors. And when you actually have the wallet pass and you go on our website, you can see all the different cities that we're active in. It directly integrates with Google Maps. So as you're in a city, you can open up your Google Maps and you can actually see that we've got a layer with all the different purple boxes on there, and you can see which businesses are around you. You can click on each one of the purple boxes, you can actually see the deal. So we've also tried to make it a really convenient user experience as well. So the way it works is you go into any local business, and right before you pay, you just pull up your wallet pass on your phone, and you just show it to the staff member behind the cash, and they will manually apply the discount to your bill. 30% wiped off your dinner bill right there. It's super easy to use, and it's super easy for the local business because there's no tech involved on their side. They're happy to do this. We've done this in many different parts of the world. Language, literacy, none of that really comes into effect here. It's really just about seeing a purple screen on your phone and applying the discount. And what we do is we also want this to be valuable for the local businesses beyond just bringing in more traffic to them. What's interesting is we talk to local business owners, and they say, I want analytics. I want data. I want to make data-driven decisions. So what we do in a very simple and low-tech implementation way, we create a QR code for each and every one of our local partners. And we give them this QR code, and all that happens is as soon as you go and you show your purple pass, and they manually apply the discount to your bill, they will bring a QR code and ask you to scan the QR code. You scan the QR code, it has nothing to do with payment. You're going to pay normally with cash or card. We don't get involved in payment. But by scanning the QR code, it just pops up a screen on your phone that says, congratulations, you've redeemed the deal. But that registers your visit, and the local business can then track how many people are actually coming in to redeem the deal. They then know, should I change the promotion this week, or should I maybe increase the deal next week because I'm seeing how many people are coming through month over month. We're actually helping them make data-driven decisions, which in and of itself is a huge up-leveling of how they run their business, because you'd be surprised at how many of these business owners actually don't know what's working well and what's not. So they see us as more than just a source of new traffic. It's also helping them become better operators. And that really helps the overall ecosystem, because if a local business becomes a better operator, chances are they stay in business longer. How frustrating is it when we love a particular restaurant or a cafe or a gym or a Pilates studio, and one time we go and they've closed down? We don't want businesses closing down, certainly not the good ones. But how do we help them stay in business? We help them become better operators. We bring more traffic through their doors so that they can bring in more revenue, and they can continue to pay their wages, and they can continue to pay their rent, and they can continue to innovate with new product offerings so that we have a more delightful customer experience. We help them up-level their understanding of analytics and information and data so they become better business operators to stay in business longer. And why is all of that important? Because as nomads, we talk about how we love this city or that city. I mean, just this week, all of us have exchanged incredible travel stories with others about our favorite cities where we spent extended periods of time. But is it the city that we love? Is it the architecture? Is it the historical landmarks? Is it the nature? Yes, absolutely it is. But it is also the food in the city is fantastic. This city has an incredible coffee scene. Oh my God, the co-working spaces are great. You know, here the gyms are so cool. I found a really cool studio. We enrich our nomad experience by interacting with local businesses. So as nomads, we want these amazing businesses to stay in business. And as nomads, we want more of these businesses to continue to pop up. And so Global Nomad Pass is really a bridge between our two characters in our story, between the nomad consumer and the local business. Now, we are currently live in 3 cities, or 3 destinations: Mexico City, Bali, and we actually just launched here in Bansko this week. So I would encourage all of you to get your 7-day free trial, use it here while you're in Bansko, and go save money, but also support local businesses while you're here. This is the list of the 20 cities that we've published, and we will be live in all 20 of these destinations by the end of this year. So you can truly use your global Nomad Pass in all of the different destinations when you're traveling. Now, what we've also done is, particularly for Bansko Nomad Fest attendees this week, if you scan this particular QR code, you'll get your free 7-day trial pass, but it also allows you to upgrade to the annual membership if you so choose. And instead of that $79 annual membership price, it is 50% off exclusively for this group. So you'd get your annual pass for $39. And again, probably within the first month, you will easily make that back. But as I said before, the cost savings are simply the tip of the iceberg. It's about discovering incredible places to go and spend your money, and spend your time, and spend your energy in all the destinations that you happen to be in. You know what I say is, if you're a nomad and you are paying for anything, I want to make sure that you're not paying full price. But more importantly, I want to make sure that you're paying the right establishments. I want to make sure that you're supporting, that single mother who loves to make tortillas in Mexico City, and yes, she has sourced the best quality corn to make these incredible tortillas so that you can enjoy that. I want to make sure that you're supporting this family who moved from a different country and came to a particular destination, didn't speak a word of the local language, didn't understand how to start a business, didn't understand the local bureaucracy, and now they've got a thriving cafe, and they would love for you to go and patronize that cafe with your time and your energy and your dollars. And I would love for you to put this in perspective as to what it means for your overall nomad journey. We vote with our wallets each and every day. And it's important to be conscious of where we are voting with our wallets and what we are doing with that. And there are great experiences all around, but on the back of those experiences are great people. And this is a great way for us to be responsible nomads, to support local businesses, save money on the way, be part of a win-win situation, and really feel like the nomadic movement can continue because we've got the 2 characters of our story who are actually living happily ever after in the end. So with that, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy.
Last speech of the day, but still so many people. Thank you so much. How are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Great. I hope you passed your message across about the local businesses, because here in BNF in Bulgaria, we're hoping to support the local businesses in Bansko as well. Okay, we have plenty of time for questions. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. So, one there and one there. Okay, and then we're going on from this side, okay? Right. Thank you, Victor. Let's start there, and then we're going to Anastasia, and then we're going to go on the other side.
Thanks for the presentation. Really enjoyed it. Is this limited to cafes and restaurants, or do you also include theaters, cultural events?
So we partner with cafes, restaurants, but also fitness studios, gyms, salons, spas, barbershops, local attractions. So yeah, I mean, culture is a huge part of this. We do partner with local theaters, dance classes, cooking classes. In Bansko we have ATV tours, we have cycling, we have a number of different local activities. So it is absolutely not for cafes and restaurants only. It's truly encompassing all local business operators.
That was the fastest question and answer to the point. Oh, yeah, you have the microphone over there? Yes, Anastasia, and then this way. And then I will give some love in the bottom row.
Thank you for such a nice speech. I have a question about the businesses you choose. Do you cooperate with all businesses you can cooperate with, or you make a selection? Because there are such cafes I wouldn't eat there even if I got paid.
Yeah, so just so I understand the question, do we collaborate with any and all businesses, or is there some selection? Is that the question? Yeah, so it's a very selective process. We want to make sure that we are recommending businesses that we truly believe in. There are some businesses that are not popular, and frankly, for good reason. They're not good, right? The quality is not one that would uphold our standards, and we wouldn't recommend it to our friends and family, so we would never want to recommend it to our members. So no, it is a very selective process, which is why we have field teams on the ground in all of our 20 cities that are actively visiting and vetting each and every business. And so we vet them on the basis of quality, we vet them on the basis of experience. Just because you're part of Global Nomad Pass this year doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be part of Global Nomad Pass next year. So you have to maintain that, kind of like a Michelin star, if you will, right? But it really is important that at all times, members are paying for access to our curated list of establishments. And we would definitely not want you to be paying a membership to go to an establishment that we've recommended that is subpar. So we take quality control very, very seriously, and it is very selective. Which is also why the businesses, when they are selected, are overjoyed and they're happy to put up the sticker and take pride in this, because it truly is an achievement on their part that they were selected in this group.
And Nomad Michelin star, I like that. We had some questions that way, here, and then right there, and then we're going here. Sure. Yes.
Hi, this is such a great idea, like the whole project. I'm curious, how did it start? What was the first city? What was the journey? How you selected the people?
Well, I mean, we only started the company 6 months ago, so we're still relatively new, but we've grown extremely quickly. Our first city was Mexico City. My wife and I have Mexico City as one of our bases, so we understand the city very well. And where the genesis of this was, as we became nomads over the last 4 years, what we found is we loved nomad life, we loved hanging out with like-minded individuals, it's part of the nomad community, but many nomads tended to go to the same places all the time. It was the same 2 coffee shops around the corner, it was the same 2 bars, it was the 1 gym across the street, and it was just a different style of travel than what my wife and I were used to, which is we love discovering hidden gems. We love finding local businesses, we love going off the beaten path, talking to business owners, learning about their life story. It's just a passion for us. And when we started doing that within the